What's up, everybody? Indoor Micro here. Uh, this is just going to be a quick little video on another DIY light I'm doing here, and this light is actually kind of a hybrid light. You can see what I got here. This is basically a rough cut 17.5 by 13.5 piece of wood here. This was a scrap. And it just happened to be the right size for what I wanted to do, so I went ahead and used it. But what I'm going to do with this here is inside that hole I have this, and this is an eBay special here. This is what they market as a 500 watt light. I'd be surprised if it was pulling 200 watts, but I'd say I know for sure it's pulling at least 100 watts. So yeah, so my idea was to put this in the center there. Sorry, I don't have my tripod. And then it will come up like this. Sorry, hold on. It'll come up like that and it'll rest. So it'll be sticking out like this, if you see here. So I'll have this multi-spectrum red and blue here. Probably safe to say at least 100 watts coming out of that. With the ventilation, you know, it's going to be pulling the heat from around the perimeter. And what I'm going to do on the underside, sorry guys, what I'm going to do on the underside where the piece sticks through, and again, this was just a rough cut, you know, quick little job here. I'm not going for perfection or nothing. I'm going to incorporate my other lights like I've been building, and I'm going to put one in all four corners and then one in the centers here and here. So there'll be 8 bulbs altogether, 8 bulbs in each corner, and I have some 13 watt lights for that LED. So this little fixture should pack a punch, and it won't be using strictly the red and blue, because I really dislike the red and blue that comes from these lights. So I'm hoping if I mix some regular 3000K bulbs in here, I can get a more pleasing to the eye spectrum, at least to me anyways. So yeah, I'm gonna kind of get this video going and kind of put it together here. Not really a how-to, but just wanted to show you guys this quick little project. So let me get a little bit further along and I'll show you what I got going, show you what I come up with here. Alright. Just a couple more things before I start throwing this together. You see these strips of wood I put on here? The only reason I put them on there was just to give this some rigidity. This board is like plywood, and it's only an 1/8 inch, or I think it's it's a 1/4 inch thick, but it's really weak. So I put this little frame on the outside here just to give it some structure, and it's plenty solid now. But what I did to this light, sorry, stuff's falling all over the place. You see, I took the screws out and I put these PC thumb screws, and they're not the exact same right size. I think they're a different thread, but yeah, they're gonna stick out a little more, so that way when I rest this in here, hold on, there. Now if you look, they'll stick out on the sides and it'll hold it right where I want it. No need to do the end ones, but I did all 4 there. And you can see how these vents, the actual ventilation on the LED light here, it's going to be pulling in air to cool the LED panel, but it's also going to be pulling air from the underside of this fixture, and then some of the heat from all the ballasts on the A19 LED bulbs. So it's going to, you know, it's going to work real good for the LED and for the sockets that I'm going to put on here. So I think that was worth noting. So yeah, that's all I did. I just cut a hole in this wood, and it's just going to rest in there, and I think this is going to turn out really cool once I get it all done. So alright guys, so I thought I'd give you a little insight on how I'm wiring these, like I did with the rest of my videos. You can see these sockets. They have little areas where you can cut for your wires to go through. And what I did was I just put those out, and then in the middle I wired one wire to come in from both opposite ways as I go around, so it'll be like this, and all I did was meet them in the middle there, put one coming in on each opposite side, and then tighten the screw down. So basically this side here, that's the power cord, that'll go like this. This is where it will begin. We'll go from here, and then it will go over to this one. And basically I've done the same thing here, just one, I meet them from opposite sides, and then I just tighten the screw down over it. And the way you can keep track as you're going, like see this bent over one, that's the hot side, and the hot side goes to the plunger on the inside of the socket. Alright, so there we go. This is basically how it's going to go all the way around. Power cord. This is just an extension cord that I cut the end off. It's going to come in here, and then it's going to chain all the way through all 8 bulbs all the way around the perimeter of this thing. So yeah, and this is how I keep track of my hot side. Once I wire it on the inside there, I'll bend it over just so I can keep track of what side's hot, because there's, you know, this is just 16 gauge lamp cord, there's no markings on it or anything, so that's how I keep my head straight with that. So yep, let me just show you guys something again real quick here. It helps to have a grid when you're laying these out, because you can see here there's lines where they will all be, and it helps when you're laying it out so you can lay your cord down. And usually on the centers of each of these, if you're laying it out that way, the center is where your posts will be. So what I do is I go, in this case it'll be the center of this square here, so I kind of just lay it out like that, and then I give myself a little bit extra. So I just wanted to add that. Alright, so you can see I've got them all wired up here. Just a continuing circuit all the way to here. And this is an oddball socket that I had. Actually didn't have another one of these, so I use this for the final socket. Might be a little bit higher or lower, but it's okay. So yeah, that's the outer frame. And again, the eBay light will sit inside of it, but right now what I'm gonna do, you can see I got some poke through on here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some screw eyes in the corners so I can hang it. Alright, so here's a view of the back side of the unit with the hanging hardware installed, the little screw eyes. The eBay light sits in the middle, and it will hang up like this. Alright guys, so here's the finished product. I don't have any of the light bulbs in it yet. I'm gonna get that taken care of tomorrow probably. But yeah, this is basically it. This is the finished product. I'm actually holding the light in right now because it's meant to hang up and down, so it just kind of rests on there. You can see this light just sets inside that little slot in this fixture, so I'm kind of holding it up right now. But yeah, I think it turned out pretty good, and I think it'll be nice and bright. We'll have the red and blue LED, and we'll also have 8 13-watt 2700K bulbs. Alright guys, so here it is. Boom! This is the completed Ghetto hybrid light. It's actually quite a few days later from when I first started making these videos, but I finally got it all situated and completed and hung up and everything. So if you can see here, This is that same tent in my other video, the 24 by 24 by 48, smaller size tent here. But you can see the light and the spectrum. It's just got sort of a kind of a slight hue of pink in there, you know, and that to me it's just so much better than just the flooded pink purple light that when you're looking at your plants, they look all, you know, the colors are off and it's all dark, and I just prefer the natural lights. And I think with just this little bit of, I would say, you know, like before, this is what they sell as a 500 watt light, but there's no way it's even near that. So I'm saying a safe 100 watts for sure. You know, that might be underestimating it a little bit, but for sure I'd say at least 100 watts coming out of that. And these bulbs are these are actually A21 bulbs. They're a little bit bigger than a normal household bulb. These are 2700K, and they are 13 watts, true watts, and I think they're about 1500 lumens a piece. I know a lot of people don't really pay attention to lumens anymore. It's more par and all that now, but kind of old school. I like the old lumen output, you know. But yeah, here, so I got this tent set up, and now I don't even know if I'm gonna get anything going in this or not. My other video, I harvested the catnip, and I actually started some seeds of those, and I didn't let them harden long enough, so they grew really weak. I didn't do too well, but I wanted to get this video out there and just show this completed project here. I think it came out real well. You know, it's really, really bright, and I love the way it, you know, the air is pulled from under here. And so this not only cools the LED panel, but it's actually pulling heat from all these LED bulbs as well. So works out pretty good. And then it's just exhausted right out the top there of the tent with the little desk fan. So yeah, guys, I appreciate you watching my videos, and I appreciate all my subscribers. You guys are great. Everyone that takes the time to comment, I really appreciate that. And yeah, leave a message, leave a comment, whatever you want to do. And I know my videos are slowing down a little bit, but I'll try to get some more out here pretty soon. So let me know what you think of this little contraption here I've came up with. Alright guys, take care.